But it was just surprising that they weren't going for the Weaver, which I do have our draft up on screen, and Spirit had banned it, which, I mean, both games, Spirit picked it, they lost with it, Hellraisers picked it, they lost with it. You don't get the bug, at least.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just a bait, like the
You
first
have
pick.
10 seconds left.
Oh my god, Weaver. So tempted by, but they're like, wait, we just gave like
You
8
have
qual.
5
What are we doing?
seconds left.
You know, or something like. So I think it just sometimes you get to a point where you're like in a series and you're like, I don't think either of us wants to play this. See what
Radiant
we end
team
up with.
pick.
And now you're gonna end up with like a Spirit Breaker.
Oh yeah, that was the call Aries made in the very beginning. We want to see Collapse Spirit Breaker. If not, I'm okay with Joker playing it. I want to see it. I'm excited about the Spirit Breaker.
They have to do it.
At least once.
I mean, Beast is another thing that's in the pool that we saw
You have 10 seconds left.
banned out multiple times. I also want to mention that Hellraisers in Game 2, they
You
banned
have
out...
5 seconds left.
Actually, no, I'm looking at the wrong side. I think they banned out Spirit Breaker and Mars. Okay, so, a little bit of a difference here. They've gone IO Banes, some emphasis. Nah, come on. I mean, it is Collapse Mars.
Collapse
Can I really be
Mars.
too mad, but... Trent told me.
The 15th Collapse Mars game, or sorry, the 100th Mars game. I know the hero's interesting, but maybe he could be phased out of meta for a little bit. I wouldn't mind taking a break.
You have 5
The thing is that you
seconds
can't
left.
you actually don't almost ever want to pick Spirit. All
Dire
3 of Mars'
team.
ability up charge.
Razor.
It owns the hero. It makes well. It doesn't. Okay, let's not say owns the hero because I think everybody can unanimous was saying the Spirit Breaker is an absolutely ridiculous hero as you get later in the game. He takes over completely. But Mars, his own monstrosity. So now they're gonna try to set up heroes that are just gonna be good individually,
have
but also
10 seconds
good if they
left.
are against this Mars. So Razor is one of the big options. And
You have 5 seconds left.
PuckChamp and Hellraisers both hot. And it's an interesting matchup against Mars because if you put him mid, actually Mars wins that matchup. But when you put him in the longer lanes, harder to break that static lane. Also more plasma field range. Assuming it's off-lane Mars. Because Toronto Q does also play. You can always flex it. An option.
I actually have not. I don't think I've ever seen the Mars Razor man.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's especially fun when you play it in pubs and you pick Mars and they pick have a good laning.
You can just like max your Q on Razor though, and then you just go play on the Q on.
Yeah, but then you can.
It's different though.
also
It
just play around
changes.
with-
Yeah.
You can play around with pushing the lane a bit with Mars. I mean, Mars is just a really good laner, honestly. That's why he's
Yes.
always present.
Yeah, and he's really. I mean, he's always cool versus ranged heroes. You outplay with your shield, put it up. They miss 2 CS or something. You get denies. Blah blah. Could see it. We have. I don't think I've seen Tokyo play the Mars in a while. I know he used to play. I know he played at TI a couple times.
You have 5
But
seconds
I
left.
think it's been some time since he.
you guys a fan of the tree? Because I thought they were going to go for a position fire with a harder stun in the lane just to maybe enable the Razor. Like, I know you're saying Razor could go plasma field level, but now with not having a position fire with a stun, and like you can't really play off the potential of static link at all.
Really strong lane. That's the thing. It doesn't provide you the stun, but the lane overall is like there's not much that can actually go into the Razor in a tree, and it's pretty devastating. That's cool. So now you have your immediate setup for the Mars always. You also have the Dispel versus for Living Armor always throughout the game. Oh, if he's wasn't on a hero, that can always.
You have
Gotta see
10
this here.
seconds left.
South America, they're picking him like crazy.
You
Also a
have 5
terrible win
seconds
rate.
left.
It was a bit of a trap pick because they've. What? And to the point that you're making, Aries, last game was a bad example because Rabel's playing Quap, but usually Rabel has pretty teamfight-oriented heroes, right? Like he's the kind of Leshrac player, Spirit player, right? So usually he makes up for Maladi's Trimpeter a bit more, with a bit more teamfight there. I'm assuming they might take this path here for Hellraisers. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess you are looking for like a gap closing too now with the Shadow Demon getting shown. Like, but it's not
exactly.
available, Void's not available, so Storm's probably eyeing up. Maybe in the 18th, so we'll see if they ban out some... Already got rid of the Snapfire, like maybe you're thinking about Lion Ban again just to enable Rabel.
I don't know where Lion stands. What's your opinion on that, fuck? Where is he in this
have
meta
10
right now? I
seconds
can't
left.
really tell if he's...
Wasn't picked last game.
You have
had
5
it-
seconds left.
Steers me away from it, right? Like they saw Weaver and Quap, and they didn't want a Lion, so maybe that hero's just. Like that game, I guess they just really like the Rubik, and Mira did play it well, so.
Yep. He stole Primal Split and Sonic Wave multiple times. I mean, that's wild.
did.
How do you
He really
achieve
did.
that?
That's definitely a good point. Like, I guess if it's like looking, we're both saying for the line, and it's looking like an ideal game, and Spirits shy away from it, then they obviously have a completely better read than what we do being Team Spirit. So I still would at least them to go for another support that has a stun, because we're asking for Rabel to fulfill this role. You always need that when you're against a Shadow Demon. So what position 4 that's going to be, I mean, still left to determine, but you know, Hellraisers with the 15th pick coming out, are you feeling they just go for their second support here, not to reveal too much?
So what would it be though? Because then also, like, you see Mars already. You just want to pick your offlaner and have them reveal if that's going to be the offlaner or the mid. Do you want to like build your strategy up? Do you want to start building like, are we going to 5-man? Do we want a Beastmaster? We see Shadow Demon.
Radiant team banned.
It's actually pretty. You already have a run at you lineup. Fits well into this kind of. Try with a bit of push.
I just want some type of. I already want push. Like, I just want something to control. It's the other thing too, like that I feel like.
You have 10 seconds left.
They had Luna, but I felt like they never even utilized the Luna to actually
You have
push.
5 seconds left.
True. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm something. I think through Dota 2 Champions League, we were seeing teams just first pick Beastmaster. It did not matter if it was a horrible lane or not. They felt the importance of the vision that he's able to provide, the importance of Inner Beast just as a something to amplify your carry, because Razor doesn't use it too much, but I can literally never be upset about a Beast or like a Night Stalker or anything being picked up just because the vision, and teams at this level will always use that to a ridiculous...
Dire team
Like
banned.
Beast with Dream Protector, you have 2 huge. I think it's like, and you're playing versus like Shadow Demon. I think you get like, Shadow Demon likes to play like pretty far back, so it's like you know exactly where they're setting up with everything. And I think he actually enables Razor.
You have 10 seconds left. You have 5 seconds left.
I don't
liking is just out from Spirit in second game. It's something that a little bit more off meta now, but if they go for another support that can't deal with push, then it's definitely an option for Hellraiser.
You can play around them when you're 3 Lycan, right? Because you're not so dependent on being caught in the arena. But
How much is Lycan getting picked? That's another one that I actually thought also was kind of out of it, because I'm watching a bunch, but I'm playing like a ton of pubs, and I'm not playing against any like
Radiant team picked.
no, he's just a worse Beastmaster.
just
There's
a worse
Marana for
Beastmaster,
Gilgor.
right?
Okay, so that's one of Gilgor's best picks, and really doesn't reveal much about your draft ever. Like it's picked time. So
Love this
pick
hero.
not reveal it.
Yeah, great versus Mars in
You
like all
have
stages of the
10
game.
seconds
You
left.
can leap out of the ult in case you get caught by it somehow. Moonlight Shadow, if they
You
ult
have 5 seconds
Mars
left.
is set up for like some type of kill. Sure, if they're pinned, you see them, but if they're not, they're in the midst of it. There's no sentry. Moonlight Shadow is huge. I think Moonlight Shadow is something that's always not like disregarded, but like somehow even we talk about it a lot, but it's still somehow like overlooked how powerful it is. Move speed in fights, ways to set up free smokes around the map, ways to avoid. So I think this is a cool option, and if there's like a Shadow Demon disrupt save and stuff, he always has.
I want to see how Team Spirit look to deal with the Marana though. Like it's really Hellraisers are playing off the back of like a stun into Marana arrow combo. You've already got SD, I guess, that can play defensive. Like maybe if they give it to Mirror, like Aether the Blink, but you go for another defensive hero.
Oh,
They actually did
They
that
do it.
anyway.
A little bit of confidence
Okay.
in me, so they go for the line. I really think this is just not enabling like Rabel's hero pool. Like I think they have to go for set up for the Marana, and now Lion just makes it a
You
little
have
bit more
10
difficult.
seconds left.
I think you're absolutely onto it. Yeah, I think you're totally right with that. Because like I'm not seeing like this other big reason. So yeah, it completely deters them from picking spirits. They're gonna pick OD. I think that's actually such a good snap pick because they saw the Morphling already. So OD versus Morphling has been this traditional matchup always. He's this massive burst, always gonna be able to go through because it's pure damage versus
You have
high
10
armor.
seconds left.
That's a cool pick, and now it's a setup. Now we've got setup for Marana.
You have 5 seconds left.
actually,
Not the best early. Not the best early, because, you know, it's not, unfortunately, not, well, fortunately, not 4 seconds at all levels.
I think though this gives them a lot of flex. Like Hellraisers have 24th pick, so you can give it to Rabel if it's a good mid matchup. You can give it over to Limitless in the off lane, like OD. Who's that going to be? Like a Lion Shadow Demon support? Regardless, like it feels like that's easy kill potential. You've got supports that can't shove out the lanes, and we were asking, I think I don't remember who said it, but someone said the OD before push, and now like how does Spirit actually defend objectives?
You have 5 seconds left.
They have to be set up. They're gonna have to have like these people behind. It's not the easiest for the Meteor Hammers this game, I gotta say. There's a lot of little disables. Your Mars Spear, your Shadow Demon Lions, blah 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 blah. But yeah, this OD could still have a very dominant early game versus if he's gonna be versus like a Morphling Lion, you know, he could. And the other thing too is like talking about the Morphling is
You have
Morphling
10
into Razor.
seconds left.
So I think that's probably one of the bigger reasons that they're picking it up. You can itemize
have
straight for the
5
Manta,
seconds
deal
left.
with the train, put limited tables on it, and you can turn it. One of the few carries that literally
Dire
doesn't care
team
about.
ban.
It looks like they're a little bit undecisive though in Spirit where the OD is going to be played. Like they're covering all tracks here. Puck getting banned out, Banking getting banned out, which I think is one of the best pairings with Mirana in the off lane. They do struggle to start fights still. Like Hellraisers are very pickup orientated. So I whatever they go for, whether it's Ravens or Limitless here, it just has to start fights. I really don't care what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally
both
agree.
Sanking and Puck mentioning are jump into the back lines, catch something. Both are cancelled by the line to a degree.
And they're both Sanking and Puck also are two heroes that can avoid Mars really. Pearl Strike out of the Mars ult, you can Puck ult out, or Puck, you know, orb out of it, etc. too. So they're covering multiple bases on the side of Spirit, as well as also just covering just in case if it is next to OD.
You play though on on Toronto Tokyo. Like you're not 100% certain about the mid matchup. I think OD takes a lot of Spirit heroes away because he can itemize into single target. I'm surprised they banned Ember because the matchup,
What
but
if he still Marses and they just still else not to go out? You're mentioning it before.
Radiant team pick.
don't you just OD mid then? Like surely he just absolutely destroys a Mars mid. But they ban Conquer as well. Like I feel like OD is really good versus Ember and Conquer. I feel like this is just going to give it to Limitless, which is a little bit surprising to me because I'd be like OD destroys those matchups.
Oh,
They're just gonna take Lina. So that's the one that, okay, so the Lina mid, it's because now it's like Razor and OD. Like Lina's gonna do good in both matchups.
Your hero.
So now they're gonna switch it up. They're gonna probably put OD mid, like an off lane. And their reach is still, again, like the reach though from Hellraisers is a bit limited. I feel like Tokyo might do the same thing as last game about like beating on towers, where it feels like he's safe to do so. They picked a Lycan into the...
So conflicted.
What is
I'm
the
so
conflict
conflicted. Okay, so
Share it out
Lina's
for
a
us.
good matchup versus the OD, which you're happy about that. Exactly like Fog's saying as well, like how do you start fights on Hellraisers? You have to just like and run in or hope OD gets a catch. And so I said previously, like I'm only going to go for teams with stuns, initiation, team fight. I think Spirit have easier ways to do that. I like the OD a lot. I like the Lycan a lot. So going to give Spirit the edge, but it's really close again. Like it's hard to call. But I can't go against what I said with stuns and everything, so I've made too many mistakes.
Consistent at least. Fog, do you want to give us numbers this time, or are you not going to?
Oh man, I don't know actually. This one, because they have this early game again where Hellraisers, it's like this Razor OD, they could set this pace where Morphling might just be too far behind, but it all depends on how Lina and Mars do. I don't know, this is going to be a doozy. I think the first like 10, 12 minutes is going to determine a lot of the game. I think HR they can dictate pace, but I think if they mess up in their lanes a little bit, start to see dreaded outcome of becoming too big. I think they have a good shot of being able to take this early.
As we go into game number 3, we see a similar narrative that we've seen and in general for Hellraisers. If you guys have not watched the EU TPC, let me tell you, Hellraisers is the team that takes Russia's scorched earth policy to a T. They go forward, they blaze, they destroy everything in their path, and if they're pushed back a little bit, all of a sudden they have no farms to collect, and they have no food, and they starve to death. But they manage to push forward, and they manage to destroy the enemy team fast enough. They are one of the most formidable teams to be reckoned with. So let's get into game number 3 between Team Spirit and Hellraisers with Ares and Fog.
Thank you very much. I mean, folks, time to determine if Team Spirit can quench that flames or not. I mean, they're already starting off with a potential brawl. Look at this move from Team Spirit. We've already got the action kicking off. Starting to utilize here. Do level the Astral though? I mean, Rabel really wants Arcanol. He's holding on the outskirts. He's like, do I need it? Do I not need it? And now they're actually going to go back in. His Mirror eats the arrow. And now with this Arcane Orb hit, Rabel picks up first blood. That's why you were holding the Astral, just to help out with that extra little bit of damage. And what a way to kick it off for the boys on Hellraisers.
It's a lot of little things of mind game going on, right? Like Tokyo, if he has stun, they probably get the kill. But
The battle begins.
wants Dragon Slaves. Really doesn't want to grieve himself. Miposhka eats an arrow, and it's actually going to be 2 kills then.
The lions hide.
So that's going to change. That mid matchup's going to be quite a lot harder there for Tokyo. And so interesting thing, just to point out how this all went down. I don't know if this was noticed entirely by HR. I think it was, while setting the top. The smoke from Spirit through mid, there was a wolf there. So it didn't see the smoke, but when they walked through, the wolf got hit by the tower, which means there was people on the high ground or vision on high ground. Read that it was a smoke instead of that, just from a wolf going through. Just something like crazy that you sometimes can notice.
I think that's the fact that you just brought it up is something we need to mention, is that Dire, they've got really good ways to get vision this game. You brought up the Moonlight Shadow, but now also the Lycan summons as well. And they play really off the back of getting these pickoffs on Hellraisers. I think a point that you brought up is just Hellraisers have to run over this game. Like, if they do not get pickoff after pickoff, take objective after objective, I struggle to see how they can take fights through the mid to late game with their lack of initiation.
Yeah, but if they do get the ball rolling, they could just cruise through it. That's the thing. It's like, this is one of those weird games that could go really one-sided really quickly, or just see Spirit like hang on and just chill back, and then they just line up. He's gonna get to a point where it gales really hard. But we'll see if we get there. His 2 kill on OD is quite a good start. He has Ring of Health. So now your Dragon Slave spam from Lina literally does pretty much nothing.
I guess honestly, like, anyone to be laning versus a OD, Lean is the best to have this 2-kill disadvantage. Like, Toronto Tokyo should still be okay. When Rabel picks up the Meteor Hammer, like, Lina can just outshot the lane. So I wonder how much of an issue it's still going to be, but I guess now OD gets a really fast timing, and we can just see how he looks to play off that, because, you know, we're continuing to highlight this game for Hellraisers. They have to run over it. It's a free Lycan game pretty much. Like, Lion, Shadow Demon do nothing versus the summons. Morphling can't wave clear until really later. So Lina probably has to go, you know, it's core, but like Boots of Travel. Mars is going to have to be, you know, act as that wave clear. So it's looking like a really good game for Limitless as well. And we're seeing him have a bit better of a lane than what he's gotten previously.
Killed the water rune. Rebel, he could have just picked it up. He just kills it instead. Like, he's on top
That's
of
an alpha move. Come on.
I mean, that is pretty alpha, but like, he's literally just standing on it. He's just like, nah, don't need it.
We need some mana. I've got the Essence Flux. Toronto Tokyo, he's shaking his boots right now. He just sees the position too, like, not even with Dan about the water. He's like, oh my god, this man is actually a different beast for the series.
Hey, just gets given a ring of health like at the start of the lane. It's pretty much the dream.
The ego on Toronto Tokyo, though, if he absolutely destroys this game, would be through the roof. Like, his opposition, we both know position 2s have the biggest ego. Like, they are just...
He might all chat, honestly. Like, if he gets like a solo kill or something too, like, you got 2 kills and you're like, I could see Tokyo doing some all something.
Oh, I would love that. I mean, again, like you said, it's just a disadvantage for him to come out ahead. Top lane,
up top,
like breaking off there, collapse. He wants to pop the Soul Ring for the spear pushback. It put him in a very tricky health pool though, and thing though, how's his lane looking in regards to the last hit? Miles got a little bit more than I was expecting, actually.
I thought he was going to suffer more too. Mira's just been doing a good job of putting under the Razor immediately. I think one of the links was like 3 damage or something. All depends on like how quick your Shadow Demon is, how quick you gauge. Should get worse for Collapse since he's still low. And hit it. 87, getting quite a bit of extra denies over Tokyo too. The Meteor Hammer is done.
Lycan's about to go down. Yeah. Yadara and Miposhka finding a big kill. Yadara might get another kill as Gilga's actually going to look to take the battle to Miposhka with the help of the Wolves, and Gilga's going to get away with his life, it looks like. Yadara's going to wake him up in shortly. Find the angle. Gilga's... No, nice shot.
Nice wolf micro. This guy's a very good microer. Seen with the master tier Beastmaster and his golden lichen. We expect to
Arrow's
kill
gonna
her.
go in. Playing the limit, see if the Morphling. And how do you feel like it is gonna fare here for Yadaro's Morphling in third game? Who did he get?
Denied the water rune
Die.
again.
He just ate the arrow. Lilith has got the damage. No, he doesn't through the stun lock. Oh my god, Yadaro, come on, man. I'm saying it's potentially looking like a free game. He just eats the arrow in daytime. Top lane, we see Collapse go down as well.
And in the meanwhile, the OD killed the water rune again when he could have just picked it up. He was missing mana. He just kills it. Dude. He's just.
It was never yours.
So yeah, how do you feel like this is going to be a game for Yadaro though? Is it like a relatively free Morphling game? Can he take over? Or are there still issues for him at some stages?
The OD is the issue. That's the biggest thing. Everything else I think is pretty free for him. It's just he has to watch out about just getting like one shot in. He has to watch how much
he's going to go down again. And Gilga's already made another early rotation. Up the top they go. They really want to take Collapse's Mars out of the factor in this third game.
That's a Gilgar Mirana, right? This guy is... I think it's his most played, right? He's so comfortable on this hero. And I like that he made the move of leaving bottom. Like, if Opportunity collapses already getting so shut down. Set up for the raise. 1 or 2 more kills. Even looking for another arrow.
Gonna land it to the, I think, level 1 Nature's Grasp, but Mirror doesn't really know where he can retreat out with 2 supports surrounding him, so ping the high ground as well, expecting there to be a ward, but not
Let's
the case.
see what hell has paid
Grab
you
the
for
river.
him.
No, right. Rabel's gonna be fine.
In the rune, though, they got a little lucky that it didn't spawn top on the side of Spirit, and we'll get the DD. And Gilgar, we're seeing him setting up some more wards, taking bounty runes, just being a nuisance, giving Limitless to the lane bottom, which means that we're going to see the line moving around, but Poshka looking to set up his own kill.
Rabel.
Mid even.
Target. So he's gonna find the angle. Just get the Asher, but it looks like that first stun with the help of the double damage rune should be enough damage. And there we go. And your advantage now almost nullified. Yes, Toronto, Tokyo, only about 400 net worth behind, but that is a really big kill.
Tower is under
More likely a lot of damage to the tower as well. Just a Diddy with the Cardi.
So this is the one issue that does happen. I like Gilgar making the moves around to go top to make sure his Razor's crushing the lane, just shutting down the Mars. But that's what happens. When you leave bottom, it means that now the Morphling's going to be in a 1v1 versus Lycan, and it opens up the opportunity for Lion to make it. So it has its positives and negatives.
A question now of like, how do you feel like Raid down here? Banishment holding back Watson. Still has stolen 50 damage though, and Collapse is holding the spear. This will push away the Razor, but Melody, can he get a right click? He does. Oh, Mirror, with so much damage with the 5 poison stacks, but Melody's laughing. He's like, alright, Collapse has got no game, lads.
Yeah, what, that's 3 deaths, right? And look at this, smoke again. Are they going to kill him again? Like, look at Rebel right now.
They are.
They're smoked up. They have the Astral maxed out. They have the Meteor Hammer. Is the plan just don't let Collapse have the game? That's
no, Collapse.
Oh, he's gonna die.
They're gonna get him.
He's dead.
Mirror doesn't have enough mana for banishment as well. He just TP'd back with the arrow, but that's okay. Vrabel being nearby. Come on, give him the tips, baby. You already killed him 4 times. May as well really put him in the grave.
I was straight bullying, honestly. If I have to say so myself. This whole game, this whole first 8 minutes feels like it's just been bullying toward Collapse. And they're gonna get to steal the hard camp stack. Can Spirit do anything about it, though? Don't think they can contest it. Can they pressure mid out of it, though?
Melody's already level 5. Like,
And look at
Moran
this-
is 5 as well.
The ward that's placed right there by Gilgar, Poshka plays 2 sentries to try to find it. It's out of range at both. Like, it's actually a little bit of a sneaky one of those wards.
How do you start fights on Spirit now with like a really late blink timing? I mean, your Miposhka hasn't had the greatest game. He's a level 5, position 5 Lion anyway, so he's not going to get too much net worth. Like, it really feels like just Hellraisers have to make a mistake where you get a decent arena. Maybe he's still able back in. Banishment.
This is a level 6 already on Tree.
Like, it's not even 9 minutes in as Melody dodges the LSA. Lord, this top lane is a disaster for Team Spirit.
Both supports are 6. Collapse is 4.5.
lane. All right, this could be a good kill on Rabel. Ashlon
Okay.
cooldown. Yada is actually going to look to play with the OD replicate, but the rest of the guys starting to connect to the area. Oshka's able to land the stun, but do they have the waveform back up? They do not.
Miss?
He misses with the uphill attack.
Nice burn.
And Rabel. Oh
Radiant's
no, that
bottom
was
tower is
the
under
way back
attack.
in.
There
Like
is
top of the
no
network, and you
can
don't
do.
get him.
Now
He might
Yutoro.
set up still.
He might get set up on.
Oshka needs to cancel the stun out of range. He's able to get the attribute shift. Now with the banishment as well from Mira, will give enough time for Yadoro to be able to waveform away.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. The pace of battle quickens. The Radiant have called upon their defenses. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. It will fall like a ripe apple. Radiant's middle tower is losing its foundation. Radiant's middle tower has collapsed.
Mid was undefendable, and they just want to go get a kill. So they will get that
Radiant's
kill,
middle tower
at
is
least
under
with
attack.
Collapse and with Mira, but a huge hit again, HR. Mid tower dead, they have stacks to rely on. Rebel, he's just rushing a Blink Dagger next, it looks like.
Goal.
A very hard comeback here for teams. It's not really that they can fight to come back is the thing either. Like they don't really have the best way to fight into this early game lineup. They'll get crushed if they don't have number advantage. As soon as we're saying that HR, they bring the numbers. They have 3 top already set up. Smoke at the ready on Gilger. He looks like he's up. And it's easy kill combos, these two. If they find Yutoro in the if they find anybody jungle, they're dead. Now we just have to see if Mira is going to be in position to get the disruption to save or to cancel.
There is in a
Let's see
very
where
good
they go.
spot. It does feel like as well, because Team Spirit are playing without any towers right now. Like you can't have pick-up potential, like with the Lion hiding in the tree line into
middle tower
Toronto,
is
Tokyo, maybe
learning
eventual
to
boot to travel.
fear.
You know, once against Blink, like you don't really have that capability at the moment because you don't have a map to play with. You just see Hellraisers with how they're able to get this
Dire's
information.
top
The
tower
summons,
is feeling
eventual
its
Moonlight Shadow.
mortalities.
You don't have support to really delay the game, like Lion, Shadow Demon can't do what we see like a Tree Protector does and just play the dead lane, so
Yep.
you have to just defend your triangle and hope that they get farmed enough.
They're just getting, they're getting a farm though. It's HR came, they did all this, and they also came with the plan of, just in case if anything goes wrong, they had so many stacks. Like Watson, dies the once, he's like, I want to say relatively close to BKB with all of his Strength Shreds, Falcon Blade, Ogre Axe, almost Myth Hammer. That's pretty ridiculous. Very, like I said, I think the game plan for them is really just find number advantage, find these pickoffs when HR is split up at the moment, play off of that. 'Cause it's going to be gonna take
Radiant's
time for them
bottom
to be able to
tower
actually
is
take it
fading
straight on.
fast.
Feels like it's going to get to a stage though where Spirit like have to just give up the bottom tier 2 for the tier 1 top. Like you just need to get a little bit of extra objectives and maybe 2 more cams to play with, an extra wave, because we have, I mean, Helm of the Overlord coming out in about 300 gold here for Limitless. So that is
Yeah.
an exceptional timing. This tier 2 is just going to melt.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're absolutely on point with that. Like, they have to hit something big. Like trade tier 1 mid, tier 2, tier 1 top, tier bottom or something. But I don't even know if they're gonna be able to do that, because the problem is that Limitless can just, I think, just do it himself, or even not with himself, just with his creeps, and then he can show up to the fight on the other side with his hero. And I think they're much more than strong enough to just doesn't need his creeps to how big this is.
Vent!
I guess the silver lining for Spirit is that like Yadoro is farming really well. Even with
Radiant's bottom tower is under
yeah, 0
attack.
deaths,
There
Lincoln's
is
already
little it
completed,
can do.
and Collapse has got a blink in about 200 gold. So they will have ways to make plays, BKB almost surely. So yeah, the item times are starting to connect. the Team
Dire's
Spirit.
top tower
That's
is
true.
under
Yeah, the
attack.
Lincoln's does cover the majority of the threat that he needs to worry about. It's the Astral, it's combo. Everything else he can play around with, you know, besides
Dire's
a Brute.
top
And Brute's going to be a little annoying for him.
Experienced mortality.
Manta first, but clearly we'll go for Manta next. Get out of it. But yeah, I think this is right. HR, look for the fight. They've got the Dominator. One kill into... Even one kill around Roche, they could just stop the
Radiant's middle tower is
Roche.
under attack.
Limitless might just like
Dire's
start
top
himself.
tower is under attack.
They're gonna get the kill.
Fight for
Collapse.
its life.
At least he buys out for the blink before he dies. I'm saying that's so rough when you see a position 3 die for the 5th time this game, but like you were saying, just a kill into Roche they go. I mean, it's gonna be 15-minute timing. That is exactly what you need for Hellraisers, because you have to just run over this game.
Radiant's
They're
courier
set up
is
for it now.
with us.
Look really good. Be getting some courier kills. You see they're set up and block the camps even. Blocks the Ancients. Prevent the Morphling to be able to farm. They use the body block. You can see that they're really on top of their game right now in HR.
Peace.
See if the your composure, the experience from Team Spirit is enough for them to really bring them back into an opportunity though. It's only 4,000 deficit. I guess 15 minutes in though, that is a very big lead, and now with the
When
ages
you're-
you can just...
And you're into all this vision. Mentioned multiple times,
Yeah.
right? When you're at this disadvantage, the vision becomes more overwhelming. Wolves and creeps and critters just pushing side lanes and just spotting all of your movement. Well, he shows up for, I think, a moment. Yeah, because the OD. He's just dying to the creep.
Seems the whole of the Overlord is like, oh no, so not a spot to be. I'd like to see Die just go bottom. Like, I understand maybe going for the kill Morphling top because they had the ward to play with, but you have this Helm of the Overlord, you have the Aegis, just get this tier 2 tower. Now hold the map, maybe get some wards down and limit Team Spirit from farming this area.
Either smoke or Moonlight Shadow and cut down and get a ward behind in some position. Okay, looks like that's what they're gonna do. See them, yeah, smoke down, get a ward, like just behind that tier 2, maybe behind the tower or something along those lines. Yeah, right around there. And then you'll get really good opportunity. I didn't want to draw, I don't like this. I've drawn before and paused the game. But
Yeah, the pause the game is the rough one. When you pause the game, the caster's like, oh guys, you kind of just hide away. It's like, I swear that wasn't me.
You know what it was.
I mean, my fear is coughing mid-cast or hiccups somehow coming through. I'm not lucky enough. No hiccups. I don't have wood near me, but I'm just pretending to not
like
look.
a ripe
At least you're not one of those guys, one of the guys that had the GG button drop, and you accidentally click the GG button at the wrong time. I think we've had a couple of those.
tower is losing its foundation.
I think they threaten high ground. You have 3 minutes on Aegis. The deep push on the side of Spirit's pretty lackluster besides Lina. Yeah, I think you threaten.
Unfold as well. See, Flap's gonna look to reel the blink though. Finish to the easy setup. Gonna try and push back Raven. Of course, he has the Aegis advantage, but Collapse, beautiful use of the arena. Make sure there's no help for Hellraisers to come through. They're gonna anchor the fight now. Is Rabel looking to reset? LSA a little bit off the mark. I think Hellraisers just have to
Go
back
back.
off now. Losing that Aegis and everyone Team Spirit joining the fight.
Radiant's
I don't think he
middle
should have
tower is
gone
under
for me here.
attack.
I think that was super greedy. I think you just let the Lycan summons do their thing. Once you see them like stun a creep or something, then you go for it. I think it was that was a little forced by he got himself.
They're the sequences that Team Spirit need to bring themselves back into this, because Yara has almost completed Yasha. We see Tokyo going Boots of Travel as well. So these are some items that are still starting to be accumulated. I'm so surprised. I guess we see this though with like really, really good teams and how they can just get farm across the map when it feels like there isn't enough.
Yeah, it's crazy how he's ahead of the Razor.
Who's that replicate target that he's looking to play with as well? Is it just the Razor, or is there someone else that you might consider?
Radiant's bottom tower
Mostly
is
Razor.
under attack.
It's like it depends on like the link situations. It's Razor or
Dire's
OD.
top
I think.
tower is mortality.
See Maposhka.
Maposhka, yeah.
Serrated wings of wisdom hunt you down.
Pick off, of course, on the line, nothing too crazy. He's only got 1,200 gold, so still taking quite some time to work
Dire's
towards
top tower is
Dagger.
under attack.
A rough life for the position 5 line when you are far behind. Are they still gonna catch Yadaru? Try and wait for
Dire's top tower
Rabel.
is
Oh, this is
losing its
huge. Wait,
mortality.
Astral think it's all they didn't pop it. They didn't have a way.
They had no way. They had no way to pop it.
Oh, there's the Lincolns you're speaking about. Really, all you're worried about is that Astral into Arrow.
Yep.
Oh, that could have been really bad if they got that kill.
Now they have Blink, though. So Tree, if he had it in that last situation, they would have had the Blink root. But now they have the Blink further, and there's still no mana. Did go for Lincoln, so that could be the one that does catch Yatoro. I want to see HR look for a fight, though.
Oh, he ran into the Arrow. He's okay. They're actually going to pounce on this opportunity here. Not the greatest vision of the backline. Limitless Watson leading the charge. Look at how Team Spirit have been able to retreat further and further. They have a tier 2 to kind of set up the team fight around and anchor them as they'll just blow off the Shadow Demon. Clap's going to jump in and turn to the Mirana, but they're still going to be claws chicks to the rest of the Dire. They're just charging down the key components. Now they'll look over to Claps as well. Arena this time will do nothing. As Limitless playing on the outskirts is able to secure a double kill. For Hellraisers, you're happy with that trade.
I'm glad that they just forced and forced and forced. I think they should know how strong they are at this point in the game, that they can just run at them, and Team Spirit has to play exactly like that. They have to full disengage with disruptions and just try to run, and they still can't fight. They can get a kill, the Mirana overextends on one hero, but they're lacking way too much right now. So, good move from HR. And looking to pressure mid, it looks like, as well. Immediately TP after he respawns. Pressure up.
That was a net with lead. 21 minutes in. Ours is about to respawn surely. We'll not have Arena. The fight does break out for the defense, but it looks like we saw Hellraisers previously kind of butt their heads on that high ground, and they're going to think twice even for the tier 2 tower. So more time for Spirit. And it's... I mean, it has to raise the question of, like, Hellraisers do feel like they're doing enough.
I think that they're just trying to maximize. I think they're trying to be like, hey, we might be on, you know, like, timer, I want to say, but let's not make the timer be like, we need to end the game right now or we lose. The timer is going to be that second. I think they're just trying to make sure that they keep themselves farmed and not like all grouped up and under level, that now it gets to a point where like we look and it's like, oh, Morphling's like level 18 and now we're all level 15. I think this is actually the right move of them. Splitting up, pushing on lanes, waiting for that next item, getting ready for that next rotation. Fights. Still looking for fights if they come to them, but being able to just maximize them.
I guess this like is giving a lot of space to Rabel as well on the OD, who's hasn't farmed crazily. I mean, what, 5th net worth out of the cores, but Ag's almost completed, and you were kind of saying that the Morphling, his only concern is the OD. So if Rabel gets really farmed, you can go like Hex. I guess the Lincolns is going to be an issue, just quick Astral into Hex, but you deal really well with the Morph because of the pure damage. You can burst him down 100%. So, like, maybe Hellraisers aren't actually as concerned. Like, if Rabel gets really out of control, he could turn it around. We saw him have an exceptional game 1.
Absolutely. Yeah, they always have that option. It's the OD versus Morph. And he's got his Ags, so now that Lincoln's, he's got the double Astral. He's got a way to actually play around it, right?
That save is going to be huge against the Arena. I always am a big fan of like a saving hero just to mitigate the Arena combo, because Mars is never going to burst someone down. You need that fob, you need the Lena Laguna, you need the Finger of Death. So now both sides have that saving potential as well. Mirror on the Shadow Demon. Smoke up though, Hellraisers.
Still no man
charge. Said Yoda not having the Manta. They're going to eye up the post at the moment. It's just a liking to take away the line out of team fight. Melody's going to look to jump on forward though. Without the Manta, he does not have a way to purge this off. Where's the extra control coming to play? The Lincolns are available. Waveform shortly as well. They go to the northern side. They're lacking the stuns to cancel. Yoda is out of there. Everyone's out. Look at Mira. He's like, get me away from this area.
I think Melody actually, you know, it's tough to just sometimes like be like, I'm just gonna root this target. But I think if he just rooted the Morph at the initial when he was around the secret shop, they just kill him. The Shadow Demon was too far to like save him. So then his team can follow up to break Lincolns and stuff. But I think he was like, oh, maybe he has Manta or something. So this actually gives Spirit an opportunity to maybe punch back.
Collapse. He's still got the Arena. He's gonna push back the Tree Protector off to the other side. We saw the Shadow Demon get brought down as well. The rest of Hellraisers still gonna take the fight. What a Lotus Orb! Pushes back the Earth Spike, so there will be no escape for Maposhka. And in the end, a 2-for-1.
Oh, I feel bad playing line. And there we go. Rosh is up, perfect timing for them. So maybe they didn't get that kill on the Morph lane. They lost their tree, but they got what they came for here. Again, I believe well. Top tower. Yeah, top tower, and they're gonna be able to set up now.
So who gets the Ag shot then?
You want to give it to your OD for the save? I think you should.
So, yeah. Because you can get out of arena. It's really good.
I just, you know what? I didn't actually learn this until like a couple of days ago. That it gives you more steel. I didn't know that. I didn't notice it gave 5% more on your astrals. I didn't know that. I thought it only gave you 2 charges and the AoE. I found that out the other day when I was like, why am I losing so much mana? Or why is he gaining so much mana?
Yeah, we're speaking about like OD with his burst potential. So now having Aghanim's extra steel potential, he's going to do so much damage in a lot of these fights.
Radiant's top tower is
He's
under
under a
attack.
sentry. And a pouncer. So
Dire's
that does
middle
feel like the
tower
issue
is
in
under
Hellraisers.
attack.
Like you're really relying on Melody now for the Train Protector to start these big team fights. We've seen just die. How they take them is like it's just starting. Like he's just beelining in, and it's giving Team Spirit an opportunity just to
Radiant's top
reset
tower is
and
under attack.
really reevaluate if they want to take this fight or not.
Radiant's top
Yeah, they're just,
tower
like
has
we mentioned
fallen.
multiple times, that they have so many different ways of just now actually just running into fight with like Moonlight, Shadow Speed, Razor moving 500 moves, Proms, etc. They start the fights in a different manner. Manta's done on Morphling, so he has the way around the tree route. Talking him. He's out though, so they know.
King. Collapse in Toronto, Tokyo nearby. We're going to see Watson on the backline as well. LSA is going to give them a little bit of time to deal with the Mirana. Nice play from Toronto, Tokyo. Recognizes he doesn't need his abilities to get rid of the Mirana. Let's just hold back this Watson turnaround potential.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Builder overstepping his bounds a bit too much there, I think. Boshka?
Poshka, dude.
Oh no, the
Telling
bird.
you, Lion is a rough matchup into this.
Oh my god, it crits.
Okay, so you did shapeshift for that, and you completed Blink, you got Arena. How long you get
leave
Aegis
top
left?
is the scary thing. Like, you
Yeah.
might be thinking about fighting mid, but you leave top to take the tower. It's like, either use shapeshift for a Lion, but worth it because he got full control.
So what's Yadoro saying to the team? Because my guy is free farming, still second in net worth, most last hits this game. Is he just calming the team down like, guys, do not worry, I am ridiculously farmed. I can take this for us.
Probably just asking him like, yo, when are we winning? And he's probably like, Scotty time.
Soon, boys. Soon, boys.
Scotty's huge, honestly. The mana pool versus the OD is slow through BKBs. It's like everything it provides you really versus this lineup of your mana, the slow through BKB
Radiant's
damage,
top tower is under
range
attack.
forward, blah 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 blah. Top tower.
Ah, yes.
Radiant's top
my
barracks are
God.
under siege.
I remember that. I don't remember what tournament it was, but the 33 Lycan, where we really just saw like how stupid this hero was. Like the routing potential was like, oh yes, man, what a hero. I was pro, like, what have you actually done?
That was pre-nerf though, right? I think.
Yeah,
like
I think
we had the helm of the Overlord match. So.
It's true. This is not the Helm of the Overlord, but it's
close.
still quite an item. I mean, it's top of the net worth. Like, such a different game for Limitless. He performed really well with the mag with low net worth. Game 2 on the Brew was a little bit rough, but my guy is doing everything. And now what do you consider? Like, what's the item?
Yeah, do you want to go for like an axe and fight your teammates now at some point soon?
Illusion.
Plus, you don't have that stupid pairing with like Tiny or anything like that, but I guess the movement speed for the Raze is going to be nice, just to help him kind of beeline into the fight. Like you're considering another like you already got AC, so your auras are kind of stacked up. Do you start to scale now? Like that's a consideration.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's BKB or Ags, I feel like, would be the ones that really... I mean, Ags is just fun, because I've never seen an... Let's see. BKB would be the logical one.
Still, they have done a very good job of wasting this Aegis. It's gonna pick out in 40 seconds. Hellraisers still are getting their farm. They're actually gonna TP down bottom. It's aggressive plays.
Mira?
Collapse. Yeah, it's being caught off to the side here. Mira's gonna get brought down thanks to the shapeshift.
Radiant's
Shadow is able to play with the
middle tower
Milano
is under
replicate and
attack.
he's out for
Fall
safety.
like a ripe tower has fallen.
So it still feel like they're in a position to take the fight, even though they're minus the Shadow Demon.
Okay, they killed the big creep.
Money changes hands.
Yep, yeah, no. Okay, how's the Razor doing? Refresher's done. Got Lens. Ah, he's actually gonna go Lens. Okay. Wants a little more reach. I think I would have preferred him going for Hex on it, just in case. In case things like you were mentioning, if things start to, things are starting to slow down. Morphling's starting to get pretty farmed. Not gonna have that instant Basher.
He's maybe considering to scale, I suppose. Like, that's where the Hex also comes into play, because we've seen how difficult the initiation can be. So maybe like OD going into that gives them another way to really start these fights instead of just brute forcing in. Now, the question of Spirit. Still, if they're able to get that space very close to the Skadi on Yotto. Now, I think Lina, has completed the Silver's Edge as well from Toronto, Tokyo. And we have seen multiple times now, like the Lina has been posturing relatively aggressive, like trying to set up for pickoffs with the invis, but hasn't been as fortunate. Hellraiser has done a very good job to make sure they're kind of playing this buddy-buddy role this game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this has just been a slow build-up into one humongous fight that I think is just going to end the game maybe in one go. I don't know which way, but... Say, smoked
this
up.
fight.
Scotty's done, as you mentioned, on your Tara, which is one of the bigger pickups. He has a Paladin sword.
But do they get the jump? True, they have the high ground advantage. Perhaps putting himself in a position as well to set up for the fight. So that's the target to try and blow up. Raven's going to try and jump as well with the finger of death. They protect it. Astral saving enough to keep the Lycan alive.
Another one.
How can they turn it around? Roche got the backline's going to get burned to a Chris. This is the fight for Hellraiser to push them further and further back. Watson's going to utilize the refresh shots. Plenty of damage to get rid of Collapse. Bye-bye Mirror as well. They're not done just yet. Getting closer to the high ground. Yadero and Toronto. Think about turning it around. They got to be cautious on Hellraisers. The potential buyback, something to fear. They're
That's
happy
huge.
with the 3 kills.
Yeah, they got, I mean, they just used BKB on, or they just used the refresher on the Razor, so back it up. I think you're super happy. OD didn't even have to ult. He literally just had to
Dyer's
click
top
Astral
tower
twice on
is
his
under
feet,
attack.
and he stopped
It
everything.
fights for its
Always going to
life.
be the issue of, like, especially initiating there. Bit of a crazy spot in the middle of the river with the tier 1 still alive. They went for it, but OD was ready. With 2 Astrals.
That's how you really break Dota. I mean, just the saving factor of Rabel, it's such a stupid thing. And we see Radiant have this as well with the Shadow Demon, but double Astral with the Aghanim Shard now makes it really difficult for Team Spirit to play, because you have to really consider now jumping the OD instead, because you jump OD, so if you don't jump OD, you might not kill someone else.
Yeah. And I'm also going to blame myself. I mean,
Swifter than ever.
I was saying save up for the Hex. I think the Lens cast range actually allowed him to be able to cast it, but either way. Maybe
So
not.
enabled them to get a pick on Lina. She's got BKB, but Melody's nearby.
down.
Oh, Overgrowth is on cooldown. They lacking protection. Okay, Melody's
Yes,
gonna jump at Toronto, Tokyo so fast.
And it's a BKB though, so 65 seconds where you know you can run across the map.
she's
They
off.
can't take a fight.
It's a free Roche now with BKB cooldown.
Oh, it actually.
Dyer's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, that's
No
now
and it's a
can stop
refresher.
the
Oh, I mean,
flames.
actually, you know what? I think it's actually better that it's a refresher shard for the side of Spirit than it was if it was with Ags. If it was a free Ags for Razor, they could just take them away.
I guess that is kind of the issue for Dyer. Like, you can never play as a Meteor Hammer push as the game goes later. And Lycan sieging high ground when there's 5 heroes defending is nothing like a Morphling, a Luna, Terrorblade, this goes on and on.
The cursed moment's rest. Dyer's top
Oh.
tower has fallen.
That's what the wolf.
I shoot the wolf, and now Collapse is behind as well. Rest of Team Spirit in a position to counter initiate. Collapse has to pop the BKB defensively, but he's got no way to get out of the route. They also caught Toronto Tokyo out as well. The BKB still being on cooldown, so the Lean is just going to give away his life so the rest of Team Spirit can get out safely.
Jameis, they're keeping like the Morphling farm, but everybody else just seems that they can't play. They cannot play into HO. This is just really quick movements and just really good setup every single time. And even there, you know, I did mention like a little bit of like shadow inside the Marzel. I don't think it like saved anybody, but you saw there like Collapse was running around with no vision. Uh-oh. I got nothing to... Right with that,
guess
everything's up.
maybe it just gets rid of the Calling Blade for the Duffs. speaking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's little things, right? But I don't know if they would have gotten him any type of little things like that. You're starting to see very out of control.
Hunter Siege, level 20. Got that Eye of the Storm talent as well, so loads of damage. Yadro kind of backstab. So we haven't really seen the Morphling play too much around the Razor replicate.
I'm actually, I gotta be honest, I'm really surprised that Watson is still going for like his Aya Scotty. I know it's really good versus the double range cores, Lina and the Morphling for all the reasons I said core versus range. But with double refresher, I feel like you could just like walk into the high ground, blast it down, but...
Was he considering the potential of like an Aghanim to be picked up? Like, do you feel like that's a possibility?
Maybe he's just expecting they're gonna get one for free because they have such good control of the map, and they're not looking to close it. I don't think. I think they're like, we have scaled beyond Morphling can't carry. Mars and Lina are too far behind. We have 3 scaled cores. We have one that hard counters the Morph, which is the OD. So I think maybe just like we're just playing this chillin', get our normal items, anything we can get for free from Roche, because we have full Roche to get. And he just wants, I guess, fight. The strongest potential fight, straight up.
Yadora's got anything to say about that, though? Top of the net worth. Still, this looks like into the Satanic here. The Moonlight Shadow, their own Hellraisers. Find another opening for this team fight. Ready
What else did they... Up. Your BKB on the Lycan, full Aghanims on... No, sorry.
They can blow up the tree protector. Asher once again to save from Rabel. Wasn't all inside though. They've been able to catch out Yano. He might be in trouble. Just got the attribute shift off, but is it going to be fast enough? Still so much damage being dealt to the Morphling. He's going to end up going down. Morph gone. First death. Now Toronto Toki as well is in trouble. Rabel. Another catch for the Atro. Just gets Selena before she's inside the base. Morph though buyback too here, Fog.
It's over, man. They cannot deal with the pressure that's come out from HR this game. From start to finish, 28-7, 19k gold lead, little to no mistakes. HR
had not dropped a series to the Winter Tour, only one map. And Hellraisers on the verge of giving them their first defeat through the Season 1 of Winter Tour. I mean, this is such an upset. Hellraisers 23,000 net worth lead. No Morphling to worry about. Now they get another jump on Mira as well. Bye-bye shouted in without a buyback. I think you're right. I reckon this one's over.
It's over. This was really well done. They just avoided Spirit's like few chains to getting catches, and honestly, I gotta say, they ruined Collapse. That like double play top, Gilder TPing top, killing him. Then they smoke, or they go top, kill him, and they smoke the mid, kill him top again. Then Collapse had no game to be able to bring his team back to make any plays.
About to respawn. Dota Plus is saying 0%. Dota back around as well as Mikoshko. Trying to jump the back, controlling the OD, so maybe they can burst the hero down, but they just turn it. Rip apart the line. Still Yadro. He's been able to steal a little bit of damage. He's going to be close at the moment though. The link get pops, so they're going to rely on the arrow instead. Bashed up again. Yadro down, series down as Hellraisers. Able to take the team undefeated through the Winter Tour. They will move on to the winners final, and the momentum from the Dota 2 Champions League looks like it's continuing on for them.
That was beautiful Dota, honestly. They just the macro movements, just the swings across the map, the understanding, I think, is like the other big thing too. It just, these guys were on top of everything. The targets they had to go for in fights, how they had to prioritize stuff. Like, I think there was very minor mistakes that I saw coming out. Gilger died a couple times, but for the cause. Like, he would win and he'd die like right afterwards. His team